Merry Christmas to all inspiring chefs, cooks, and everything in between alike. This is Griever, your guys' host as always. This is my bar, the place I'm always at, and this is Shokugeki no Soma, chapter 293. Let's get cooking, or in this case, baking, ladies and gentlemen, because this chapter was, once again, I can't keep harping. If I'm going to keep reviewing this series, if I'm going to keep up with my weekly reviews of Shokugeki no Soma, then I have to stop making them hate videos, as some people have told me before, that I'm just hating on the series. I am not trying to do that, guys. I just, once again, every time I see the chapter, I can look at the chapter as standalone. But even within the confines of that, sometimes the ridiculousness of what is going on does irk me, and that's the point of my reviews, to bring up my opinions. And that's all they are. They aren't facts. They aren't necessarily fiction. They're just that in between. They're just a biased opinion of a fan. So, that being said, the chapter itself was a cooking chapter, but it seemed to, I really didn't understand the transition here. So, alright, so we're getting an actual Shokugeki, but this is a lackluster Shokugeki. They're so focused on this superhuman prowess that they're skipping the fun, I guess, or maybe they're rushed or something, I don't know. But it seems to me like this chapter was supposed to be, alright, now we're back into Shokugekis. The first one is going to be 5 chapters of just epic, seeing all the cooking, seeing all the techniques. And they're just so focused because on the superhuman stuff, which as I said, is a brand new concept, halfway through the new arc. After over 250 chapters. Okay. Alright. So, basically this sergeant girl, this Esdeath reject, wants, she is, I guess, a follower. A lot of the Noirs are followers of Ashiya Saiba. And they believe that he's the one to lead them, sort of idea. Or at least this is her mentality. And when he fought against Soma, he comes back and basically says, nah, he's small fry. He's nothing. He's nothing. But she's kind of having doubts, and she's going back and forth. And she's trying to figure out, like, okay, he's just small fry because Saiba told me so. However, he's gotten to the 3rd gate with no real, it doesn't seem like he's struggled. So, you know, he got to the 3rd gate. He's past the 3rd gate. How can he be small fry if he got this far? But then she's like, so she's very conflicted. Maybe that would be brought up by Soma. Soma might be able to do that. Because Soma is a character that reminds me a lot of Himura Kenshin from the Rurouni Kenshin series. Where emotions, he reads the person. And he cooks based off that. So, I have a feeling, because that was something that Soma tended to be able to do. Soma would show, with his cooking and with his methods, he would show other cooks that weren't necessarily bad people, but show them there's another way to achieve what you're trying to do. You don't need the high-class ingredients. You don't need the fancy cookware. You don't need this. You don't need that. You can do this. There are other ways. Your way might not be the wrong way. It's another way to do it, but I'm going to show you an alternative every time, and a way to kind of broaden their horizon. That was his thing, and it's very reminiscent of Kenshin. So, I'm hoping that this will be brought up when Soma cooks. And he'll be like, here's the reason I won, is because you're conflicted, you're like, he'll bring it up. He'll be like, there's something going on with you. You're like on the edge. You're on a piece of thin ice and you're going to fall through. And something's holding that ice together, but it's so thin, you know, and this is the thing to set you free. I'm going to bring about a blizzard of a storm, and that would fit the Christmas motif, is that she's standing on thin ice and it's about to break, but he's going to bring in a deep freeze, a winter solstice, a blizzard of proportions, and it's going to make the ice, it's going to freeze over the whole lake that she's standing on, and there's nothing to sink down. It'll be a hard ice surface, and that's, you know, something like a rock sort of idea, a rock hard surface. So, and that would fit, once again, the winter and the Christmas motif that they're going for. So, I'm hoping that's going to be brought up again. As far as the ridiculousness of using a chainsaw to basically, to whisk, and then because it's a Christmas cake. They're supposed to make a Christmas cake. I didn't know cakes and Christmas went together. There are a lot of other things that go with Christmas, food-wise. It's very odd that they would choose a Christmas cake. I mean, birthday cake's a thing, and anniversary cake's a thing, and honestly, I've never had a slice of Christmas cake. I've never seen it used in a cartoon either. Any Christmas specials, but maybe it's a thing. I don't know. Suffice it to say that they make fun of this, and see, that's part of the fun. They make fun of this and say, well, it's August, it's this, it's that, what are we doing? But of course, it's done for us, for our real timeline, being so close to Christmas. And like the dynamite, and that's the transition I wanted to talk about. So, am I missing a page? Because literally, she goes from whisking to smashing chocolate to blowing up her ingredients, and all of a sudden, boom, there's a cake. I really want to see, did it come out like that? Like, I wanted to see the end result of the dynamite explosion. Like, if we're going to do this ridiculousness, this, screw it, this is not shonen, this is not battle, this is just a comedy at this point. If we're going to say that Shokugeki no Soma has turned into pure comedy with shonen tropes, and is no longer a shonen anymore, a true shonen, then fine. But at least give it to me, and then I will accept, okay, the chainsaw, the sledgehammer, and the dynamite. But I wanted to see what was the end result out of the dynamite. And then show me the crazy chocolate chip cake thing, pound cake thingy that she made, this explosion cake. I mean, it looks delicious, but I don't know how blowing up a whisked, flour and turns into that. I don't know. Crushing chocolate and whisking and blowing it up. I'm pretty sure if I did that in the backyard, not only would I have the cops called on me and the neighbors complain and dogs barking, I would also, that would not be the end result. It would not be edible. So, once again, I'm trying to stretch my liberty here, but this is pretty out there, guys. I'm not gonna try to criticize it as much as I've been doing. But I don't like it. I don't like this. And the fact that we don't even get the proper transition of the ridiculousness bothers me. I want to see the stages. You know what I mean? With normal cooking methods, wouldn't be a problem. I understand that in Shokugekis, a lot of the time, we don't see a dish, all of a sudden, boom, here's my completed dish, and we only saw the ingredients being used, and then all of a sudden, boom, they have this crazy thing going on. I understand that. But in a situation like this, we need that transition showcase of what it looks like at this point in the cooking process. I feel like that is a necessity if we're going to do this. So, that's just me. I guess it's delicious. Judges love it. Of course they do. And Soma is apparently going to show off his superhuman prowess. They're still leaving that up for what is it and stuff. And he brings out, he's like, well, you got a chainsaw. That's pretty impressive. But I got a wooden spoon. He's got a mini wooden spoon. They call it an ice cream scoop. An ice cream scoop to me, once again, this is probably a Japanese thing, or maybe it's something that I'm not very aware of. But my ice cream scoop is about this long. It's got I don't have it here, but usually it's like at least a strong one handle. If not, you could hold it with two hands. You don't. But it'd be about that length, about this tall, and then it'd have the scoop on the end, a nice big scoop. This is just a little wooden, it's a tiny little thing. Once again, I'm not a professional chef. Don't make ice cream, so I have no idea. Is this a Japanese only thing? Is this an Eastern culture, how they eat ice cream? Like, it's a tiny little ice cream, because they call it an ice cream scoop. But it's very small, and that's going to be his special weapon. I'm interested to see how he's going to use it. He's going to make an ice cream cake. Cool. I like ice cream cake. I like Dairy Queen. All right, let's do this. But yeah, I'm kind of confused. I've never seen an ice cream scoop that was like literally two fingers and wood. Nope. As far as I know, I eat ice cream with a regular, like a soup spoon, and I dish it out with a nice big white or silver big plastic scoop, or metal scoop, like an actual, like a small soup ladle, pretty much. A little more heavy duty and sturdy, of course, because ice cream's so cold. So I'm interested to see where this is going to go. Once again, it's kind of ridiculous what's going on here in this manga right now. I wish that the tone changed, because they're adding so many elements. Like, it's not pure comedy, but it's so ridiculous that you can't see it as anything such. Like, there was always the comedy aspect, and most shonen you always have that. But I just don't understand. I don't understand the feel of this arc to this day. And my current video, or not current anymore, is what I'm trying to say. It was an hour long trying to explain the arc and trying to figure out where it's headed. And that's out of date now. But nonetheless, I feel like it's still relevant. So go watch that. And this is only adding fuel to that fire. It's certainly not putting it out. So I've heard a lot of people talk about this, something Yakatera, Japan, something like that, which was another cookie manga. Never read it, never heard of it, and I might have butchered the name. I apologize, but yeah, I've heard that this has turned into that, and I guess that turned into something that nobody wanted. And once again, you can get this back on track. Next chapter, you can start, and then people will still be like, eh, but right now it's looking pretty bleak. 2018 was the worst year for Shokugeki no Soma. It really was. Now, I said in my One Piece review that will also be up for chapter 928 that this is the last week we'll be getting chapters. Not necessarily true. I forgot that the way Christmas falls this year and New Year starts, that might not be the case, so I apologize for that video. I'll probably have to make an addendum at some point. But I said that the last chapter of 2018, maybe not. I did not say break next week, so I don't know. So I'm just putting my foot in my mouth at that point. But as far as the penultimate, if not the ultimate chapter, the final chapter for 2018, this was the worst year of Shokugeki no Soma. I can say that with full confidence, and I'm hoping that 2019 is a far better year for Shokugeki. I really am. I'm praying for that. So that being said, guys, what did you think of the chapter? What did you think of the review? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Please like, subscribe, comment. As always, it's always appreciated. We'll see you back here next time for Shokugeki no Soma, of course, chapter 294. As always, guys, drink responsibly. This has been Griever, and have yourselves a Merry Christmas. See you next time.